dealership in America.
That Sports Center play right there, he crawled right on top of him and just dunked it on his head.
Hog Reaction is also brought to you by Beckert and Van Buren. Now hiring up to $29 an hour with great benefits. Come fill out an application 24 hours a day at Exit 3 off Interstate 40. Lark, a full spectrum seltzer from Washita Farms. Log on at larkhemp.com. And Zelli Pasta. Join the Pasta Club at zellipasta.com. That's ZELLI Pasta.com.
Man, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? Arkansas dominates Louisville 80-54 as we've got our first game in Maui concluded. And Tommy, a lot to talk about in the next hour and a half or so. Razorbacks scored in a variety of different ways. Anthony Black went off for 26 points in his best outing of the season. A lot of people know who the true freshman is, and I bet a lot more college basketball fans know who he is now.
Yeah, in the second half, Arkansas just ran away from Louisville in this ball game, and it became a dunk fest. Arkansas with 11 dunks in the ball game, but nearly all of their points in the second half came from inside the three-point line. Arkansas dominated the paint today, and it was a game of points off of turnovers and points in transition as Arkansas runs away by 26 from Louisville.
Our number is 877-377-6963. Again, our inaugural Hog Reaction basketball show. We hadn't done one of these since really postseason last year. We're going to be doing a bunch of these in the upcoming season. I'm really excited about this. Y'all know how much I love basketball, and I love to talk about this team who just absolutely obliterated Louisville tonight. I mean, there are so many players that we can talk about. I really appreciate what Mykal Mitchell came in and provided. Makai's been getting more of the minutes to this point, but you talk about the other twin, Mykal Mitchell. He came in, gave him 12 points, did a lot of different things. Both those guys defensively were hounding the Louisville guards with the paint presence they have. Tommy, I was sitting next to some buddies watching the game. At one point, I'm looking at the lineup. The shortest guy Arkansas had out there was Ricky Council at 6'6". You're rolling out Ricky Council 6'6", Anthony Black and Jordan Walsh at 6'7", Trevin Brazil at 6'9", 6'10", and then either Makai or Mykal was in there at 6'10" as well. That is just length you can't coach, and that's why this basketball team has an average height more than NBA basketball teams. It's unbelievable.
Oh, I mean, and throughout the game, it was discussed ad nauseum about Arkansas's play above the rim, and they may lead the nation. I don't know how you track that stat and play above the rim. Obviously, you can track dunks, but that's exactly right. Their size and their length, and they're developing chemistry right now without Nick Smith Jr. that really seems to be taking shape. I mean, I think we would, it's 4 games in, but I would say this is their best performance to date through 4 games. And right now, this is a team that seems to be finding its way without perhaps their best player even getting on the floor yet.
And I just appreciate how quick they've been defensively picking up what Muss is trying to establish. There's still some issues. There's still some mental mistakes. But, I mean, there hasn't been a team they played this season 4-0 that scored over 60 points. And they have just absolutely gotten after every single one of these teams thus far. Louisville just ends the games 36% from the field, and one of their guys, Muss was talking about after the game, they wanted to limit him to 112 points. I think it was Ellis that ended up only having 11, so I know he was really appreciative. They always do a really good job. He kind of follows the Belichick formula. Pick out their best player and don't let that guy beat you. That's what Muss has done since he's gotten to campus, and it seemed to be on display once again tonight.
Yeah, and you're seeing it start to gel and come together, and do you think 4 games into the year is a little bit early for it to be as fluid as it seemed today, or was this a byproduct of Louisville? Or maybe another thought I've got is this is a byproduct of playing in Europe and playing the games they've led to this point, having the practices. It's really starting to take shape at this point.
I think it's a combination of what you just said. Louisville's not any good. They're 0-4 for a reason. You say, well, Todd, they've only lost 3 other games by 1 point. They're just not any good. But you can also say the Euro trip, them getting those 4 extra games, and that's what I was talking to you about in the offseason. I was like, they need this now. There's 11 new players on this roster, 6 of them being freshmen, 5 transfers. You needed time to gel. And I think if we're looking back and if this team has a successful postseason, you'll point to one of those things, that early bonding period. I mean, you all know how it is when you go to team camp or something. You need those summer sessions, and this basketball team basically had one in August. It was August, right, Tommy? That when they went, or was it September?
To Europe, yes.
Yeah, okay, August. That's what I thought. And so they basically had an early summer team camp, if you will, except it was a Euro trip. And I think we're seeing the success of that. Now, I think it was great they got their you-know-what's beat by Texas. They needed one of those shake-up games where they had to kind of look in the mirror a little bit. But thus far, especially on defense, I mean, this team has just been fun to watch to this point.
No, it is. And, you can see the potential now. Tomorrow's going to be a real test. We'll get into that. We got a while. We got a little over an hour, and we want to hear from you and your calls and text out there. But tomorrow's going to be a whole different test against Creighton, and we'll get into that. But today, Arkansas looked like a team that has the promise we all think they can by the time it's all said and done in March.
Let's hear some things from Eric Musselman. I want to start with Anthony Black, who again had his premier game of the season. To this point, Anthony's not exactly the best shooter on the team, but when you go 3 for 5 from 3, it ended up working. It was funny. Coach was talking about that after the game. It really wasn't designed that way, but just kind of played out.
We've never run a play called 52 fist red, and that's how Anthony Black. We actually brought Anthony Black off weak side double screens, which we call reds. We always do that for a shooter. I thought it was going to open up dribble drives for Devo Davis, and what it did was it opened up the 3 for Anthony Black.
Yeah, and he took advantage of it. Now, these guys are not going to be a top 50, top 25 3-point shooting team, and I don't expect them to. The bread and butter for Eric Musselman has been defense and getting to the rim, which they did again tonight. I heard a stat from Coach Zimmerman at one point of the game. They were like 10 for 12 from the 2-point line or from anything inside the 3-point line, which is mighty impressive. And you think about what they've been able to do to this point, it's a lot of paint points, paint touches. And I'm not just talking about post-ups. I'm talking about when they get to the cup. But tonight, they kind of stretched it out a little bit. Tommy, they go 8 for 22 from the 3-point line. Again, Anthony was kind of the star going 3 for 5. Some other guys, Jordan hit 2 of 5. You also had Ricky Council go 3 for 7. So they're at least telling opponents that you have to contest and get out on us. Otherwise, we're going to be able to knock some shots down.
Yeah, and, Arkansas had been a great three-point shooting team. Arkansas had made 13 total three-pointers through the first 3 games, and today was much better in that department. So, when you look at it, what was it, 8 3-point baskets today, and really that was a lot of that in the first half. Let me go back and look at first half totals on 3. 5 of those 8 came in the first 20 minutes. So, because they were just dunking it. Why would you shoot a 3 when you got dunks the way they did in the second half? But, yeah, that surprised me because Arkansas, they didn't quite double their total. They had almost over half of their season total in one game today.
They forced 22 turnovers on the defensive end, and that seems to be kind of the tell and like the card of this team is that continuous defensive pressure which they had. Also, that 17-0 run, the spurtability that Muss has talked about, another big-time defensive run that turned into a lot of offensive points where they just put the clamps on the Louisville Cardinals, and they couldn't get out of it. I know Kenny Payne, Tommy, must have been really frustrated because he's just watching his team melt in front of his eyes, and that was a byproduct of Arkansas's great defense tonight.
Absolutely, and I think Louisville just wore down in this game. I think the relentless defense and the forcing the turnovers pretty well got them to where they, by the 10 or 12-minute mark of the second half, they knew there was little to no chance of anything happening. They kind of let go of the rope.
Again, our number, 877-377-6963. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, again, we got another hour or so of the initial Hog Reaction basketball edition right here, ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
Want to make the nice list? Give the gift of Lark. Make a list. Check it twice. Lark on ice would be nice. Make the holidays merry, really merry, with Lark. You get the idea. Lark, the full-spectrum seltzer from Washita Farms infused with just the right amount of THC and CBD, is a great gift to yourself and others this holiday season. And it comes in 4 refreshing flavors. Lark, a new way to celebrate. Find it at your favorite beverage store or have it delivered to your door at larkhemp.com. Must be 21 to consume Lark.
When you're thinking car dealers, think Randall Ford at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, or shop us online at randallford.com. This is the 4th oldest Ford dealer in America. 114 plus years of going strong today. 4th generation owned. Very proud to be a part of the River Valley. You know, they take care of local charities. They also help out the schools. They want your business. They want to earn your business. Come see us today at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center now offers in-stock vinyl plank flooring starting at 89 cents per square foot. If you're a do-it-yourself kind of person, they have all the materials needed to lay your new flooring, or you can choose their professional installation. Whatever your choice, give them a call today to get a free same-day estimate. Financing available. For the best customer service from flooring to countertops, Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center is your local flooring professional. Check them out online at flooring.norrisms.com or on the corner of Wheeler and South Y, 479-289-7111. Hablamos Espanol.
Chuck Barrett here. I know a thing or two about making great calls in Arkansas. And when it comes to your home service needs, make the call to Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Paschal offers plumbing services from simple drain repairs to running all new lines. And right now, you can replace your water heater with a professionally installed system from Paschal. Take $150 off a new traditional water heater or $300 off a tankless system. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Do you want to be a part of the team that makes the best pizza and wings in town? Well, I've got great news. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is now accepting applications for a full-time cook. Fill out your application in person Monday through Saturday between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. You'll get to make the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Order the double cheese and sausage. Right here, dude.
Tommy Craft for the Fence Man. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
The holiday season is here. Road Chevrolet in Van Buren is rolling in new inventory, and we can't wait for you to come take a look. Over 40 new vehicles are on the way to our lot, ready to go home with you. Now through December 31st, customers who purchase any new or pre-owned vehicle will receive a $500 gift card just in time for Christmas. Buy now and make no payments until 2023. Receive up to a 120-day payment deferral for well-qualified buyers. Visit Road Chevrolet Van Buren, 2800 Alma Highway. Prices you'll love, people you can trust. See dealer for details.
J&B Supply is a proud supporter of Razorback Athletics and is your source for HVAC, plumbing, and electrical supplies. J&B Supply is a family-owned business serving thousands of customers in the wholesale plumbing, electrical, and heating and air conditioning business in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri since 1968. With their experience and inventory, they are where the professionals go. J&B Supply has locations near you in Bentonville, Springdale, and Fort Smith. Your source for all your lighting and plumbing fixtures. Learn more at jnbsupply.com or greathousefixtures.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
Brazil drives. Whoa! What a throwdown on Broden lead.
Hog Reaction is also brought to you by Beckart and Van Buren, Zelli Pasta in Springdale, and Lark by Washita Farms.
Again, our number 877-377-6963. We're going to be with you probably till 8 o'clock tonight alongside Tommy Kraft. I'm Ty Richardson, reacting to the absolute domination by your Arkansas Razorbacks, to 54. I don't know how good of a team Louisville is. I honestly don't think they're that good. They got a long way to go under Kenny Payne, but you've got a team, and you've got some guys that really seem to like to play with each other. Now, there's going to be some rocky things that they have to endure during the season at some point, Tommy, but the start, you've got to be pretty pleased where this team is defensively because that just feeds right into their fast break offense to this point.
Yeah, and Arkansas today committed 23 fouls. I mean, didn't really put themselves in a ton of foul trouble. Devo Davis was just led the way with 4, or was whatever, had the most fouls with 4. So Arkansas managed to play solid defense today, forced the turnovers that they did while not getting in any foul trouble. Nobody fouling out of the ball game. So hopefully that can continue to be the trend as well.
Yeah, you want to see them continue to play defense without fouling, like you're saying, because they have such a physical presence in a variety of different places. They can switch at any point. I mean, you've got guys all over the court that can match up positions 1 through 4 for most of them, and some guys can even guard 1 through 5 depending on who it is, and that's a luxury Eric Musselman has. You're going to see a lot more half-court pressing and full-court pressing this year than I think you're typically accustomed to under Coach Muss, just because he has that ability to with this lineup about. There's some guys, again, you're able to do this right now without Nick Smith Jr., who did not play today. Chuck said that if on the pregame before we came on and had that, and I don't know when his timeline is, Tommy. What I do know is your team is finding ways to win without him, which I think could be really good for you in the long run when he ends up coming back and is able to play full-time.
When Anthony Black took that baseline drive and flushed it, and they cut to a shot of Nick Smith leaping off of the bench, it gave us all at least some relief or some assurance that whatever the knee problem is, it's not severe. Now, it's we're talking about right knee management. We know back in August he had a sore knee and missed that one game in Europe. Whatever a sore knee means, I don't know. But obviously he's not playing. I don't know whether he's going to play tomorrow, whether he's going to play at all in Maui. But, boy, you listen to Dan Schulman and Jay Billis talk. They said they had watched him practice some over there. So they'd watched practice and saw him participate in some of that is the way I took that comment. So just reading those tea leaves, Ty, hearing those comments, makes you believe you can't be far away from his return to game action.
I think he's going to come back and play at that point. I've said December for quite some time without having any inside knowledge of the situation. That's just kind of my gut feeling on this. And what I really appreciate about Nick Smith, sometimes your best player isn't as vocal when other guys have success because some guys can be selfish. But if you watch Nick on the sidelines, he's almost happier when one of his teammates make a play. And that's what I think is going to really bode well for this team is it seems like, again, from the outside looking in, your most talented dude seems to be a really team guy. And I think that's spreading. I mean, they had, what did they end with, Tommy, tonight? 20-something assists. I got to go back and look at 20 assists. This is a basketball team that's sharing the rock. And they've got a lot of talent, a lot of mouths to feed, but they love getting in the paint, throwing alley-oops, making those highlight reel plays, and I think it's only going to increase when Nick comes back.
And guess who had the most assists in the game? The guy that had the most points. Anthony Black, 26 points, but 6 assists to go along with that today.
You'll take that. And he's a point guard. What he does on the fast break, his eyes and head are always up. I know that every one of you dads out there know that you've taught your kid at some point in time when he's dribbling the basketball, he or she, eyes up, head up. Anthony always has his eyes up on the fast break, and he was dominating the pick and roll tonight. If you go back and watch these little instances where he's coming off a screen and roll, he is throwing absolute dimes and lasers to guys either cutting to the rim. Ricky Council, we found him in the corner. He has that pinpoint accuracy you don't often see in a true freshman.
Yep, and you're exactly right. His fundamentals were really good today, and I just thought when he got the chance to drive to the rim off the point and found a crease even against the zone, that was the other thing I thought they did well. When Louisville went zone and one of them dribble penetrated and they crashed in on that player, they found the open pass, and that also speaks to their length. Now, we'll see what happens when they play a taller, rangier team with the length that can match up, and if they pack them in a zone where those passing lanes get shut down, I don't know, but I know this. When Louisville tried to get help side defense over today, somebody seemingly was always there for that assist you're talking about on the back door.
This team's always basket cutting. They're always moving off the ball, and that makes them so difficult to defend because there's not just like one guy that you can throw an alley-oop to. 2 years ago it was Justin Smith. That was the guy that was going to beat you up high. But you got the Mitchell twins, you got Brazil, you got Walsh, you got AB, Anthony Black, you got Jalen Graham. I mean, you have so many rim runners on this basketball team that when Anthony's got the ball, he's just looking for that lob, and that's so dangerous to a defense. It's kind of like a running quarterback, Tommy. You got to account for him and so many other things. Well, you have to account for so many pieces of this basketball team because if you get blown by it, there's a straight line drive. It's a good thing there's a good chance there's going to be a highlight reel, and you're going to be yelled at by your assistant or a coach because, man, this Arkansas basketball team just knows how to flush it.
Well, and I just hope all of this timing, all of this chemistry, all of it works fine when Nick Smith comes back. I think there will be some hiccups and a few bumps in the road just to get that timing, that smoothness worked out. This team through 4 games seems to have found their stride without him today. I'm not suggesting they're better without him. I'm just saying there will be some adjustments when he does come back, and that may not be as smooth as you'd like it to be in Game 1. You know, if December's the return like you have surmised or maybe your gut tells you, they need to have all of that lined out before they play Oklahoma.
Yeah, because you don't want to do what you did last year and get stomped by the Sooners. You owe them a game, and you owe them really a butt-whooping after what they did to you last year. I know there's only 2 guys that were on that team from last year, but they're going to let them know. And you've still got Baylor you got to play. We know how good the Bears are. You've got some really talented SEC teams coming up, and what's the other game I'm missing? Is there one more non-conference game?
Well, you got Troy next Monday. Then you got Bradley in there. You've got and that one's down at Little Rock. So Oklahoma coming up. You got another one on the 17th. I don't have the schedule right in front of me, but those are some of the games that come to mind right away for me.
I was just trying to think if there's another marquee non-conference game that I was forgetting.
No, Oklahoma's pretty much it. I mean, obviously you got Baylor, but that's down in the year. I don't even really count that as a non. I know it's not a conference game, but I don't think about that in the same light as the other ones because of where it's at on the schedule and the quality of that opponent.
Eric Musselman seems pretty happy with where this team is defensively right now, and I think if you're a coach, you'd much rather have this team be further along on defense than they are on offense, and they definitely are to this point. We still got a lot of reaction to get to, some more Muss clips to get to as well, as he was very enthused with how his basketball team started out tonight. Creighton's going to be a much more difficult challenge. We'll see how this team responds. Just a reminder, airtime beginning at 6:30 tomorrow night with Z and Chuck, and then the game starts at 7. Tommy and I will be here for Hog Reaction following that. Still a lot to get to here on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Contact your local River Valley Shelter Insurance agent today.
When you need a plumber, call the name you know and trust, Ashley Air. The same great people that take care of your heating and cooling system can also meet your plumbing needs. Right now, take $50 off any plumbing repair or get a $129 drain cleaning plus a 2-year parts and labor warranty. Restrictions apply. If you have clogged drains, Ashley Air is the one to call. Go to AshleyAir.com to schedule your plumbing service. That's AshleyAir.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics.
At Alliance Motors, they pride themselves on listening to the needs of their customers. Everything they do is designed to make your car buying experience as easy and enjoyable as possible. Visit them in Greenwood, 1305 West Center today. They realize you have a choice when buying your next vehicle, and their desire is to ensure you have the best car buying experience. At Alliance Motors, customer satisfaction is their highest priority. Visit them today and see for yourself the difference. Or visit them online at alliance-motors.com. Alliance-motors.com. Alliance Motors Greenwood.
Westart Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning Services wants you to know that holidays are right around the corner. So if a turkey leg falls into the garbage disposal and you can't retrieve it, call 646-5151. Uncle Bob overflows the toilet and the plunger won't work. Call 646-5151. No hot water for Aunt Sally's shower? Water heater on the fritz? Call 646-5151. Have a happy holidays from West Ark Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning Services. Call 646-5151.
Tired of spending all your hard-earned cash at the gas pump right now? Wheeler Power Sports is here to help you out. They have a giant selection of motorcycles and scooters to help maximize fuel efficiency. There are over 50 scooters in stock right now, with some getting up to 100 miles per gallon. Wheeler also has a great selection of motorcycles from the Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Kimco. Check out their full inventory at WheelerPowersports.com or check out their showroom in person at 901 North 11th Street near downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Drs. Sparkman, Nanda, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Real estate investors, are you being underserved and overcharged by your current property managers? Have you ever added up all the charges on your statement? Marshall's Management Group is locally owned, managing rental portfolios for the past 10 years in the greater Fort Smith area. With a new year coming, is it time for a new property manager for your investments? Marshall's Management understands. They are managing more than buildings. They're managing your money. Marshall's Management Group, 479-242-7081 or marshallsrentals.com.
Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
Brazil drives. Whoa! What a throwdown on Broden Lead.
Hog Reaction is also brought to you by Beckert and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, and Lark by Washita Farms.
Tommy, you were telling me during the break a couple other SEC games that we're keeping an eye on tonight. I know that conference play has not started, but some notable games, including one in the Cayman Islands that kind of sounds intriguing.
Nobody's playing in a cool weather locale. Fort Myers, Florida, Daytona Beach, Florida, Hawaii, the Cayman Island Classic. All of them sound delightful compared to the conditions we got here in the Ozarks and across the state of Arkansas. LSU beats Illinois State in the Cayman Island Classic 77-61. Of course, we've been talking about Arkansas's victory over Louisville 80-54. 2 games tonight on the SEC slate in the Fort Myers tip-off. 4-0 Mississippi State takes on Marquette. You could watch that game on FS1. And at the same time, 3-1 Georgia takes on St. Joseph's in the Sunshine Slam in the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach. Georgia's a 2.5-point favorite over St. Joseph's. That game is on CBS Sports Network. Again, that's at 7:30 as well. That's all the action today in the SEC. The Arkansas Razorbacks play tomorrow night against Creighton. So it's going to be a big game tomorrow. It's going to be on ESPN. Of course, we'll have it right here on the radio. 2 unbeatens, number 9 versus number 10 of the country from Maui, and we'll have it right here for you tomorrow night. We'll be here after the game against 2 top 10 teams. This is a big one out in the islands.
Coach Muss touched on Creighton just a little bit, mentioned we got to get this one, and we did.
I mean, this is a game we had to get. Obviously, we want to try to win more than one game, but this was a game that we felt was an absolute must. And now we got to go guard a really good offensive team in Creighton and an older team. I mean, you're talking about some fifth-year seniors who've logged a lot of minutes against a very, very young team in what we are.
And that's going to be the key element tomorrow night's matchup. How does Arkansas handle some veterans that they'll be facing in the Blue Jays. Creighton always seems to have several older guys. I swear, I think McDermott's still their coach. He's been there what seems like 2 decades, and this is a challenge tomorrow night, and I know Texas was as well. If you've been monitoring college basketball all to this point, you saw Texas just destroy Gonzaga last week, and that was the best performance that the Longhorns have had in a regular season game to this point under Chris Beard, so they're starting to get into rhythm a little bit. So you played Texas, who looks like they're going to be a pretty salty team. Tommy, you got another matchup tomorrow night that could be a team that's maybe in the second weekend of the NCAA tournament.
4-0 Hogs. Anyone remember right now losing by 40 at Austin? Anyone still want to bring that up? I guess maybe if you lose to Creighton, some will, but right now that seems like a distant memory that didn't even happen in that exhibition game at this point.
Yeah, you hope it's one of those things that doesn't matter at the end. No one's talking about it at the end of the season, but kind of like you said, if they lose tomorrow night, then people are going to start bringing up just because that's what people like to do. And as we mentioned on the Morning Rush, when it comes to the different broadcasting ways that we saw in Fayetteville this weekend, some Arkansas fans, and I'll lump myself into that category, some people just like to complain. It's part of it. We got a text in here. This is from the 864. Do you know what the 864 area code is? I have no idea.
Punch that one up.
I'm going to have to look that one
you
up.
Read it.
Okay. It said, do you think 3 of our McDonald's All-Americans will be one and done? So the McDonald's All-Americans on this team are Nick Smith Jr., Jordan Walsh, and Anthony Black. Anthony Black, and from what we at least have projected-wise, and Nick Smith looks like they will probably not be back. Jordan's kind of one that I am curious about, how he projects in terms of his ceiling. He's a guy that showed flashes already to this point to the season. Had a solid game tonight. Again, defensively, that's where sometimes his efforts and his intensity goes unnoticed by just the common eye. But I don't know. That's a good question, 864. What do we find out? South Carolina.
Greenville, Spartanburg, Clemson, and most of northwestern South Carolina.
Okay.
Its main city is Greenville. So
there we go.
That's the 864.
Learned something new. But yeah, that would be my answer. Tommy, what say you on the Jordan Walsh, Nick Smith, and Anthony Black question?
Well, right now Jordan Walsh is probably getting more opportunity with Nick out. 7 points today in 28 minutes. He was one of 4 Razorbacks to play 28 minutes or more in this game. I'd say he needs to make the most of this opportunity early in the year while there's maybe just a few more minutes until Nick Smith gets back. So, I think there's way too much basketball at this point to say this one's one and done, that one's one and done, whatever it is, because I think we just got a lot of hoops left to play. I think maybe Nick Smith, we hadn't seen him dribble it once yet this year in a real game, might be the only one you could defiantly say, but boy, Anthony Black made a case for himself today in Maui.
I think with these guys, and then also with Ricky Council, has shown that if they need to step up in Nick's absence, let's say Nick's having a bad game or he's in foul trouble or whatever the case may be, when he comes back, they can still score. Now, are they going to be as lethal without Nick on the floor than with him? Probably not, but they can still score in bunches. I mean, again, they shoot 57% as a team tonight, and Anthony has the most notable game. He only missed 2 shots the whole night, 2 threes, but they just have several guys. They keep on coming. Even Jalen Graham off the bench has 8 points. He goes 4 or 5 from the field. There are several different weapons that Eric Musselman can utilize this season. Mikael Mitchell had his best game of the year to this point. Makai's been getting more minutes, but he ended up doing well. So I just like the fact that guys are stepping up to this point early, and it's not just offensively, but it's both ways, because you're not going to play unless you play both ways here.
Man, look at Jalen Graham's line. 4 or 5, as you mentioned, 6 minutes. I mean, his plus-minus was -3, but, man, when he was in there, he was willing to shoot. So, but clearly Makai Mitchell was the best bench player I think you had today, without question.
Jalen has the best post moves of anyone on the team. He's not as versatile defensively in terms of his shot blocking like Mikael and Makai are, but he does provide a little spark off the bench when they run pin downs and they run various other action for him to get him open or to give him a paint touch or a block touch, which I think he's taken advantage of to this point. Our number is 877-377 6'9", 6'3", the first hog reaction of the season. We're going to be doing a bunch of these in the college basketball season following notable Razorback games. I'm really excited about this. Talk more basketball, nothing wrong with that. Tommy, we've got, I guess, 4-game sample size. What have you been disappointed with thus far? Outside of just Nick not getting to play, what's been kind of a disappointment to this point?
3-point shooting. I mean, it's just now today they broke out of that, and I hope we continue to see 8 made 3-point. Arkansas is going to be a hard team to beat if they're making 8 and getting the dribble penetration to the lane and driving to the rim the way they were. But they haven't been a very good 3-point shooting team until today. And then today, 8 of 22. That's 36%. You'd take that all day, every day, all season long. Leading into today's game, Arkansas was 13 of 48, 27%, but just 13 3-point baskets through 3 games. So a big improvement today in 3-point shooting. You can look at 3-point defense to this point, but it hadn't been bad at all. I mean, 3-point defense has actually probably been one you'd put on your surprise column. It's been a good surprise, holding opponents to 22%, because that was a big concern coming into the year, is how well they could defend the 3. So far, done a pretty good job there.
You're top 25 in the country in defending the 3. You're outside the top 240 in shooting the 3. So you're hoping to see one improve and one to stay right where it is. Arkansas in Muss's first year was the number 1 team in the country in defending the 3-point line. That kind of made up for the rebounding deficiencies in other areas. But they have to continue to shoot the ball better. And hopefully tonight will kind of be that spark that kind of pushes them over the edge when it comes to threes. They shot more than they usually do. I know Ricky Council was talking about that after the game. They ended up attempting, again, 22 threes, which I would guess most of the time they're going to be under the 20 number. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But teams are going to push them to shoot, Tommy. We're going to see teams zone them. We're going to see teams go under the screens, and these guys just have to come in confidently and knock it down. Muss always talks about shooting it with your feet set, kind of within the flow of the offense, not necessarily taking pull-up threes or anything like that. And hopefully these guys will continue to find the rhythm and keep knocking them down, because they're going to get some open looks this year the way they can drive the basketball.
16 turnovers today. That's manageable when you had the number of assists that Arkansas had, 20. They're averaging 15 turnovers a game through 4 games now. That's 60 turnovers for the season. So that, that's higher than you'd like. It's about 6 or 7 higher than Muss would like at this point. But hopefully that average they can drive down. Even 16 today was too many. But at times the pace, not for the whole game, but I thought the pace got frantic at points today and led to mistakes by both teams.
And one of the things that Louisville tried to do against Arkansas tonight was zone them a little bit. And initially it kind of threw them off, but Eric Musselman said they kind of found their rhythm once they started getting rolling.
Initially, I thought we kind of played high school Harry. We were keeping the ball above our head and not attacking into the gaps. And then after a couple possessions, I thought we kind of figured out that we had to get that thing in the middle in our hot set, we call it, and then from there spray it out.
That's what they did. They kind of found holes, and they found they would get to the paint and throw alley-oops and find other you think about 2 guys that can just get to the paint at will, Tommy. That seems to be, or 3, honestly. Ricky Council, Devontae Davis, and Anthony Black just seem to be able to get in the paint anytime they want, and a lot of times they're looking for open people, which the big men, the front court, are very receptive to the passes they've been receiving.
Old high school Harry, he wasn't bad. He's probably an all-conference player, wasn't he? Old high school Harry?
That's a joke that's going over my head, brother.
Oh, that's just what Muss just said a second ago. We played like high school Harry. I was just playing off of his words.
When he said that, I didn't know if that was like a middle-aged man reference. I didn't know what he was talking about, to be honest.
I think he was. That was a self-deprecating comment about his team, and so sorry. I just was playing off of his attempted humor on that.
That's my ignorance at its best. But I like when he said that. I listened to it live, and I was like, all right, that's got to be from a movie or from an old TV show, and I'm too young to understand it. But I guess it's just I
imagine when you're in the film room with him and he relates your action on the court when he's watching the film to something named High School Harry. I imagine that's probably not a comment you're seeking out of the head coach. So.
There might be another word or two that is tossed in there along with the addition of High School Harry. Speaking of words, I was loving Anthony Black was just talking smack. I don't remember what guard Louisville was matched up with, but I mean, Anthony Black abused that kid all night long, and I'm just kind of watching this young freshman who's, I think, 18 years old, just taking this kid to the woodshed all night in a variety of different places. He let him know about it a little bit. Tommy, I thought at one point he might get a tech, but I guess he didn't end up with one, and he's a little boisterous at times, and I appreciate that, especially if you can back it up, and he definitely did that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of noise gets talked out on the court, and right now, I mean, when you're feeling it, and you see this in a lot of games, when the ball's going in, you're playing well, and he did today. Your mouth gets a little bit loose sometimes, and it didn't cost his team, and it probably juiced him up for the kind of performance he had in both halves. Because what was it? He scored 12 in the first half, and I guess 14 in the second. So he had two balanced halves today, no question. And what was it, 36 minutes? Let me go back over here. 35 minutes of action.
And it's not a lot of one-on-one, right? I mean, if you watch this basketball team, they end up, as we brought up earlier, 20 assists tonight. They are playing free-flowing basketball. They're finding cutters. They're finding guys going backdoor, and they're looking for each other. And you don't find that often with the team with 11 new guys, but I guess that message has gotten clear across to it early. And if you beat a team 38-16 in points in the paint, which Arkansas was able to do tonight, Tommy, 9 times out of 10, you're going to win that basketball game, and that's exactly what Arkansas was able to accomplish over Louisville.
Man, I don't know. I don't have enough. I've still been in football mode. I mean, Sheboy and Kentucky comes to mind. I'm trying to think of, you may have a better working list in your head of all the big men in this league. Sheboy's the first one that comes to mind, obviously, for Kentucky and who's back. But Arkansas is going to have the edge when it comes to the front line. And out of 18 games, probably, 17 of them, 16 of them, somewhere in there. So, I mean, Arkansas is just stacked to play that front line probably, and deeper and better than most.
This would have been a fun team to watch play, that Auburn team last year with Walker Kessler and Jabari Smith. Both those guys gone to the NBA. And you look at, I think Tennessee still has that tall Serbanian guy, that 7'1" dude. I can't think of his name. They've got the lefty Vescovi, and then I think that other guy is still on the roster. I cannot think of his name, but I think he's a pretty good front court player. But yeah, Sheboy's going to be a handful. I mean, watching him back against some solid Michigan State post players, he's going to be tough to handle. But I think what Arkansas has, as you're referring to, it's you throw both Mitchell twins at, you throw Brazil at him, you throw Jalen. I mean, you have so many guys that are going to be able to match up. Not necessarily just overpower Oscar, because he's a stud and he's going to do most of that, but it's that wear and tear, the depth we always talk about that Arkansas doesn't have in football. Tom, it sure seems like they do have it in basketball.
And then you take a guy like Black or Council, who they're not the frontline guys, but they're long and rangy, and I think the ability to match up and defend it so switch off players is going to make Arkansas tough. But one of your big guys, your 4s or 5, get in foul trouble, well, you just bring another wave up, man.
Mm-hmm. It's nice. Again, this is the deepest team Eric Musselman has had, and your best player hasn't played a second in the regular season. This is Hog Reaction live here on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com, presented by Randall Ford. We really appreciate all of our sponsors, Tommy, being a part of this. This is a new thing that we've got going, and it wouldn't be possible without 4 major sponsors.
Yeah, you mentioned Randall Ford, 4th oldest Ford dealership in America. They've been with us for a long time, presenting Hog Reaction in our pregame show in football. This is a new, like I said, new venture here for basketball. Hog Reaction also brought to you by Beckert in Van Buren, now hiring with up to $29 an hour with great benefits. Apply 24 hours a day at Exit 3 off I-40 in Van Buren at Beckert. Also by Zelli Pasta in Springdale. Join the Pasta Club at zellipasta.com. That's Z-E-L-L-I pasta.com. And by Lark, a full-spectrum seltzer from Ouachita Farms. Log on at larkhemp.com.
So got about 30 minutes left of Hog Reaction here. We'll get to more of your calls and texts coming up. Stay with us right here, ESPN Arkansas, and HitThatLine.com.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
When you're thinking car dealers, think Randall Ford at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, or shop us online at randallford.com. You know, this is the fourth oldest Ford dealer in America. 114 plus years of going strong today. Fourth generation owned. Very proud to be a part of the River Valley. You know, they take care of local charities. They also help out the schools. They want your business. They want to earn your business. Come see us today at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Zelli Pasta is a family-owned shop at 809 East Emma Avenue, Unit D in Springdale, and they make all organic pasta with grains grown and milled in North America. Extruded through bronze ties, custom-made in Italy, which gives it texture allowing sauce to stick to the pasta. They have everything you need for perfect pasta at home, including fresh sauces. And you can pre-order lasagna and stuffed shells for pickup and enjoy homemade ravioli every Saturday. Join the Pasta Club for something new to try every month. Get delivery now. Log on to zellipasta.com. That's ZELLI pasta.com.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit patriottransport.com to apply. That's patriottransport.com.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Contact your local River Valley Shelter Insurance agent today.
Are you a real estate property investor looking for a better solution to manage your property? Marshall's Management Group is a locally owned, fully staffed property management company that understands your lifelong investments are not just buildings, it's your money. Marshall's Management will maximize your bottom line. Call Marshall's Management Group at 479-242-7081 for a free review of your property portfolio. Right into a new year with a better bottom line with Marshall's Management Group, 479-242-7081 or marshallsrentals.com.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Who's hungry, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. And this month, I'm serving up heaping helpings of deals on Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So right now, you could save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car, based on the price of the car you choose. It's our feast of savings, and these deals are all gravy, so if you're sick of your old ride, toss it like yesterday's leftovers. Come in today, and you could save up to $4,500. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. So pull up a chair at my feast of savings, and you could save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car. But hurry, a deal this hot will cool down fast. Only in Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
The holiday season is the perfect time to reflect on our blessings. Four Corks Wine and Spirits is thankful for you this holiday season. You're invited to browse around up front in the gift shop for that special someone. Choose from a wide variety of handcrafted wines from the elegant, climate-controlled wine cellar. From bourbons and whiskeys, craft beers, or some of the coldest imports in town, Four Corks Wine and Spirits has it all. 8000 South Zero Street, just past the intersection of Massard and Zero Street. Four Corks Wine and Spirits.
You know the Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment in Fort Smith is your go-to shop for everything pressure washers. But did you know that they also handle your industrial pump and supply needs too? It doesn't stop there. Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment's industrial vacuum trucks can handle dry, liquid, and even sludge removal from several hundred feet away. Leave the cleanup to the professionals. Contact Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment at 782-3762. That's 782-3762. Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment, 3116 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
Brazil drives. Whoa! What a throwdown on Broden Lead.
Hog Reaction is also brought to you by Beckert and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, and Lark by Washita Farms.
Welcome back into Hog Reaction. Man, it sure was nice seeing those beautiful Razorback Hawaiian polo shirts. I've got two of them. Not the same one as the ones that Muss and his staff were sporting. I'm really curious to find out what Chuck was wearing tonight.
Those were those Tommy Bahamas, right? I mean, they were the button-down. Weren't those the button-down Tommy Bahamas like the one you got over at the Razorback shop, over at the stadium shop?
I mean, I call those polos. Like you call them whatever you want.
Oh, no, that's not a polo. A polo doesn't button all the way down. That was that Tommy Bahama like we saw that Roberts got over at the stadium shop. So, yeah, those are sweet-looking shirts. I don't understand why they had Louisville in the same exact pattern. And yeah. I know the colors are the same, but, I mean, you got the world at your disposal. I mean, Tommy Bahama can get you a different-looking red pattern. So I wish they'd have separated that out a little bit. But, yeah, if you want a shirt that looked just like what Muss had on, you can go get one. Robert texted me during the game. He's got those. I think that's the one you got when we were over there that one day. Well, it was back in football. It's close. We had the sale on it.
It's close. It's not the exact same one, but it looked good. I mean, they had no business dressing up the same as Arkansas. They didn't have any business being on the same court as the Razorbacks tonight. I mean, that's just a complete different set of talent that you saw matched up. I mean, there's a reason that team's 0-4 to this point in time. I mean, you smack those guys around. They, especially in the second half, I mean, they were just toying with them that game. I'm just toying with them in the second half.
I don't know if Kenny Payne doesn't have enough talent or if it's just the growing pains, but, I mean, let's not pretend like Louisville hadn't been a great program over time. They just don't have a great team. I mean, Louisville's a very storied program and very worthy of being in an event like this, but their team this year through 4 games has been, to say a disappointment would be understating it. So.
Well, I go back to what Doug Gottlieb always talked about. I mean, this is a Notre Dame and Oklahoma State guy, and he is a college basketball savant, a college basketball guru, and all he's ever talked about when it comes to Arkansas was just a sleeping giant that needed to be woken up. Well, I didn't think a 5'6", 5'7" guy was going to be the one that woke him up, but sure enough, Eric Musselman walked in from Reno, Nevada, and woke this thing up. I mean, you got a top 2 recruiting class this year. You've already had the dunk of the year on your basketball team. And I'm going to be honest, Tommy, this is probably me overstepping when it comes to this. I don't know if they're going to lose at home all year. I'm being dead serious. I don't know what team outside of maybe Kentucky is going to be able to walk into Bud Walton Arena and walk out alive. I just don't know. And I know there's a lot of basketball between now and then, but I'm serious, man. I don't know what team is going to be able to beat this team at home this year the way they play defense, because it's a lot of times, teams that they get in that offensive rut, they have an off night shooting, but this team is so good defensively this early that defense makes up for their lack of shooting at times, and that's just something that other teams that we've watched at this point, they just don't have the length and the size that Arkansas can put on a court at any given time with any given lineup.
You open conference play on the road this year at LSU. I don't know that Missouri's – they were terrible last year. I don't know if they're going to be good. Bama will be your first big home conference test. You got Alabama on a Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock crowds and 8 o'clock crowds. I don't know. 6 o'clock's like it's too early. 8 o'clock is too late. I don't know if you have a full house that night, but that I think Arkansas will win that game. Ole Miss on a Saturday at 11 a.m. I mean, you look at some of the times, 6 o'clock on a Tuesday for LSU. A&M's not one that draws a huge crowd. The Mississippi State's another home game. That's a Saturday, 5 o'clock. That'll be a good crowd on February 11th. Florida on Saturday the 18th at 1 o'clock. That probably will be your biggest crowd to that point. Georgia on a Tuesday night at 8. It won't be full. than Kentucky. I mean, when you stop and look at the home games in conference play, there's number one, and then there's everyone else. There's Kentucky, and then there's everyone else.
Yeah, you got some.
And I know that's normal, but normally you have an Auburn or you have a Tennessee or you have something that's, and maybe it develops into that. But boy, just looking at the schedule right now on November 21st, it doesn't seem to, a game that, man, I've got to be at that game.
Well,
Florida might be the next best game.
The thing is, Tommy, the games like you mentioned Alabama, that's home and away. I think the Tennessee game, it's just on the road. The Auburn game's just on the road. You're lucky that you got Kentucky home and on the road, but your better games, like the best teams in the SEC this year are going to be Auburn, Tennessee, in no certain order. Auburn, Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas, and Alabama. And Texas A&M, I would say, is lumped in that category as well. And so, unfortunately, I think you just have, you're looking at the schedule now. Tennessee's just a road game, right? As is Auburn. You don't get the reciprocating games, do you?
Listen to your last three.
Oh, it's brutal.
February 25th at Bama, February 28th at Tennessee, home for Kentucky. Those are your last three games of the regular season. Yeah.
Well, the good thing is you'll get tested, and right before postseason play, which is very important. Those could easily be the 4 teams that are vying for that number 1 seed heading into Nashville. And Arkansas's got a great chance. We brought it up even before basketball season began. You've got a great chance to be that 1 seed in Nashville for the SEC tournament, the way your team's playing right now. And what you said earlier, I think, is very important. How this team adapts to Nick Smith Jr. coming back, in my opinion, at some point in December. You hope it meshes flawlessly, but there'll probably be some turbulence, as there is with most teams when they get a star player back. You just hope that it's not like a plane that you just have a little bit of bumps. It's not big bumps that are up and down or anything like that.
You play Creighton, and then you're going to play on Wednesday at some point. There's no guarantees about tomorrow. In fact, I don't know when Bet Saracen will have the line out on tomorrow, but I would not be surprised if Arkansas was a few points of an underdog against Creighton. In fact, I expect that. Wednesday, then you travel back. I think the team's going to travel back either Thursday or Friday. Chuck told me earlier today. I can't remember what he said. He's getting back, obviously, to do the football game on Friday. I guess it's Thursday because he's flying back with the team. And then you play again Monday. I don't know how much practice time they're going to have with Thanksgiving and all of these things. Then you play Troy. Then you've got from that Monday night with Troy all the way through Saturday. I'm just thinking whenever Nick gets back, having some practice time in between to develop rhythm and chemistry and timing on passes. We talk about that in football all the time about quarterbacks and receivers. There is a ton of nonverbal communication that goes on a basketball floor between players and their passes and anticipating their next move. It's just like, and it's in a more confined space. So all of those things I don't think are just going to happen, or you're going to flip a switch and they're going to be perfect the moment he returns.
Yeah, you're right. And I think Eric Musselman knows that too. All right, I think we got one more segment here I
think he knows more than me. I would agree.
I would probably agree with you on that, and he knows a lot more than me too. One more segment of Hog Reaction coming up live on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
Zelli Pasta is a family-owned shop at 809 East Emma Avenue, Unit D in Springdale, and they make all organic pasta with grains grown and milled in North America. Extruded through bronze ties, custom-made in Italy, which gives it texture, allowing sauce to stick to the pasta. They have everything you need for perfect pasta at home, including fresh sauces. And you can pre-order lasagna and stuffed shells for pickup and enjoy homemade ravioli every Saturday. Join the Pasta Club for something new to try every month. Get delivery now. Log on to zellipasta.com. That's ZELLI pasta.com.
Searching for a promising career change? Looking for an established company that pays competitively and values its team members? Then come be a part of the Beckert family. Beckert & Van Buren has immediate openings for production operators paying up to $29 an hour. Sundays are paid at time and a half, and night shift work has an added premium of $1 per hour. Applications are available 24/7 at Beckert, located off I-40 at Exit 3. Apply today.
Frontcourt Furniture Black Friday Week Super Sale, starting Monday, November 21st through the 26th. Except for Thanksgiving Day, Frontcourt Furniture will have a new shipment of Made in the USA furniture, marked down with unbelievable prices plus no sales tax. You heard it right. Unbelievable prices plus no sales tax. Frontcourt Furniture Black Friday Week Super Sale, November 21st through the 26th. Frontcourt Furniture, best seats in the house.
Have you recently experienced possible hail damage to your roof? Is it just time to replace the one you currently have? Brothers Roofing and Restoration is a properly licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Brother Alexander has over 25 years of experience in home insurance and adjusting and residential roofing. Brothers Roofing Crew has 17 years of experience themselves. He provides free estimates with the most competitive pricing in the area while using the industry's best materials. So call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother to inspect your roof.
This is Mark with W&W Automotive. Before you hit the holiday road, drop by and let us check your antifreeze. We'll also take a look at your battery, your hoses, belts, things like that. If it's been a while since your last oil change, well, we can take care of that too. We service all makes and models, foreign and domestic. We offer front-end work and alignments also. Don't wait. Come see us just off of Townsend on South O in Fort Smith. Call 242-1600. That's W&W Automotive, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
The holiday season is the perfect time to reflect on our blessings. Four Corks Wine and Spirits is thankful for you this holiday season. You're invited to browse around up front in the gift shop for that special someone. Choose from a wide variety of handcrafted wines from the elegant, climate-controlled wine cellar. From bourbons and whiskeys, craft beers, or some of the coldest imports in town, Four Corks Wine and Spirits has it all. 8000 South Zero Street, just past the intersection of Massard and Zero Street. Four Corks Wine and Spirits.
As a sports fan, you know the game, but do you know what to get the woman in your life? Do you know what Judy Blues are? Or what about a tunic or buffalo plaid? Well, don't let that stress you out like a fourth quarter turnover. Go to Firefly Boutique and Gifts. That's Firefly, light up the night. Firefly Boutique and Gifts in downtown historic Van Buren. They have all the things for the women in your life. And to make it quick and easy, pick up a gift card and get back in the game. Firefly Boutique and Gifts, 613 Main Street in Van Buren.
Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com.
West Stark Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning Services wants you to know that holidays are right around the corner. So if a turkey leg falls into the garbage disposal and you can't retrieve it, call 646-5151. Uncle Bob overflows the toilet and the plunger won't work. Call 646-5151. No hot water for Aunt Sally's shower? Water heater on the fritz? Call 646-5151. Have a happy holidays from West Stark Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning Services. Call 646-5151.
Champion Cycling wants to help you find the joy in cycling that's been a part of their family for many years. Whether you're a child getting your first bike, an adult who hasn't been on a bike in years, or someone who's looking to podium at their next race, Champion Cycling wants to help you find the right bike. A great selection of bikes, cycling apparel, and accessories, and great service. Champion Cycling, 5500 Mazard Road in Fort Smith. Find your next ride with Champion Cycling. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
Brazil drives. Whoa! What a throwdown on Broden Lead.
Hog Reaction is also brought to you by Beckert and Van Buren, Zelli Pasta in Springdale, and Lark by Washita Farms.
All right, back here on Hog Reaction. Tommy, during the break, you were talking about some scores going on in SEC basketball. What are the updates on that?
We got that, and we got some top 25 action. Let's first take a look at what else happened out in Maui today. Creighton beat Texas Tech 76-65. Probably many of you didn't get to see much of that game as it happened earlier in the day. Arkansas down Louisville, as we've been discussing, 80-54. Coming up tonight in Maui, Ohio State and San Diego State. San Diego State is the 17th ranked team of the country. They're a 4.5-point favorite. That game tips off in about 10 minutes. You can watch it on ESPN2. The nightcap from Maui will be Cincinnati and 14th ranked Arizona. Going to the Bet Saracen app, Arizona favored by 9.5. Some other top 25 action tie that's underway. Duke leading Bellarmine, who was the team that beat Louisville earlier this year, 13-9. That one's about 10 minutes in. And 25th ranked Iowa right now 49. Omaha 28. Checking a couple of the other scores. Everybody playing one of these nice tournaments in a nice locale in the SEC right now. Let's take a look at a couple of these down in Florida, as LSU's also in the Cayman Islands as well. In let's see, on CBS Sports Net right now, Georgia's leading St. Joseph's about 5 minutes in, 13-4. Also in the Fort Myers Tip-Off Classic in the Beach Division. Very important. We know which division this is in.
The Beach Division.
The Beach Division in Fort Myers. Mississippi State 7, Marquette 5. That game about 4 minutes in. And LSU, as we mentioned, in the Cayman Islands at the Cayman Island Classic. They beat Illinois State earlier today, 77-61. So that's SEC action, and a look at the top 25 here for you on Hog Reaction, presented by Randall Ford.
You think Chuck's going to bring us back anything from Maui?
Not a chance.
No?
Not a chance.
Oh, man, I figured he wouldn't be selfish.
Maybe some jet lag. He might bring back some jet lag. I talked to him for a while today. He'd had a long flight getting in there, and he said he had planned to get up and talking about the time he woke up early over there, but about the time he was moving around, we were just finishing up the show. So he's going to be on halftime tomorrow, plans to be on with us a little bit on Wednesday, and then he'll be back in time to spend most of his time with us Friday before the football game.
That works for me. All right, I was wrong. We do have one more segment coming up on Hog Reaction, so we'll do that when we come back right here, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
Want to make the nice list? Give the gift of Lark. Make a list. Check it twice. Lark on ice would be nice. Make the holidays merry. Really merry with Lark. You get the idea? Lark, the full spectrum seltzer from Ouachita Farms infused with just the right amount of THC and CBD, is a great gift to yourself and others this holiday season, and it comes in 4 refreshing flavors. Lark, a new way to celebrate. Find it at your favorite beverage store or have it delivered to your door at larkhemp.com. Must be 21 to consume Lark.
Searching for a promising career change? Looking for an established company that pays competitively and values its team members? Then come be a part of the Beckert family. Beckert and Van Buren has immediate openings for production operators paying up to $29 an hour. Sundays are paid at time and a half, and night shift work has an added premium of $1 per hour. Applications are available 24/7 at Beckert, located off I-40 at Exit 3. Apply today.
Hell is a big enough problem on its own. Good thing Dent Source LLC is on the job, specializing in auto hail repair from personal vehicles to large fleet. Dent Source LLC makes customers smile, one vehicle at a time. High insurance deductible? No problem. Dent Source LLC will pay your deductible. Need a loaner vehicle during repair? No problem. Dent Source LLC has free loaner vehicles. Stop by 2820 South Zero Street, across from Play It Again Sports, or call 479-337-4443. That's 479-337-4443. Dent Source LLC. No problem.
Is your real estate investment portfolio performing the way it should? Do you have too many vacant days resulting in lost rent and higher costs? Those are the silent killer to your bottom line. Marshall's Management Group will keep your properties rented. And trust me, I know a thing or two about rentals. Marshall's Management Group understands these are not just buildings, it's your money. Start the new year with a new property manager. Locally owned Marshall's Management Group. 479-242-7081. That's 479-242-7081. Or marshallsrentals.com.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's gonna clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's gonna mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood carpool.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yep.
Except, who's gonna sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. nickandellie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
This is Mark with W&W Automotive. Before you hit the holiday road, drop by and let us check your antifreeze. We'll also take a look at your battery, your hoses, belts, things like that. If it's been a while since your last oil change, well, we can take care of that too. We service all makes and models, foreign and domestic. We offer front-end work and alignments also. Don't wait. Come see us just off of Townsend on South O in Fort Smith. Call 242-1600. That's W&W Automotive, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
Have you recently experienced possible hail damage to your roof? Is it just time to replace the one you currently have? Brothers Roofing and Restoration is a properly licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Brother Alexander has over 25 years of experience in home insurance and adjusting and residential roofing. Brothers Roofing Crew has 17 years of experience themselves. He provides free estimates with the most competitive pricing in the area while using the industry's best materials. So call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother to inspect your roof.
Chuck Barrett here. I know a thing or two about making great calls in Arkansas. And when it comes to your home service needs, make the call to Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Paschal offers plumbing services from simple drain repairs to running all new lines. And right now, you can replace your water heater with a professionally installed system from Paschal. Take $150 off a new traditional water heater or $300 off a tankless system. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts need, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Champion Cycling wants to help you find the joy in cycling that's been a part of their family for many years. Whether you're a child getting your first bike, an adult who hasn't been on a bike in years, or someone who's looking to podium at their next race, Champion Cycling wants to help you find the right bike. A great selection of bikes, cycling apparel, and accessories, and great service. Champion Cycling, 5500 Mazard Road in Fort Smith. Find your next ride with Champion Cycling. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
Brazil drives. Whoa! What a throwdown on Broden Lead.
Hog Reaction is also brought to you by Beckert and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, and Lark by Washita Farms.
Last segment here on Hog Reaction, ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. Just a reminder, Arkansas will take on another top 10 opponent, Creighton, tomorrow night. We'll have airtime beginning at 6:30, and then the game starts at 7. Tommy and I will have your post-game reaction as well. Tommy, you're going to find a lot about this team tomorrow night. This is not going to be an easy game against the Blue Jays.
Veteran team, senior-laden team, veteran-laden team with Creighton. Good offense. This will be a defensive challenge for Eric Musselman. I'm sure that, they're not looking at Creighton for the first time tonight and prepping for this game. I'm sure Texas Tech and Creighton, they both spent some time on before they got to, or at least the staff has, before they got to Maui. But I like Eric Musselman with a short amount of time to get ready for one game.
Yeah, he has managed in his time at Arkansas to really, really win these type of games. Now, again, if they lose tomorrow night, it's not the end of the world. The world's not crashing down or any means, but it would be a game that you'd love to have on your resume. I heard Z talking about net rankings later in the broadcast tonight, and this would be a huge quad one win for your basketball program tonight or tomorrow night. And I think that Arkansas has the pieces to do that.
Well, I mean, if there's a Blue Jay reaction, a Creighton reaction show going on right now, they could say the same thing because it is equally important to Creighton's early resume. That's the kind of team Arkansas has. But, no, what you said's correct, but I think that cuts both ways. Both teams would love to have this early season win. Both teams, right at the back end of the top 10, somebody's going to move up probably down the road quickly based on who wins this game tomorrow. So it'd be a huge early season feather, but like you said, it's just not necessarily going to determine what kind of season you have, win or lose.
And I want to say something else. My old college roommate, who I haven't talked to in a minute, who's listening right now, Tommy brings this up. There are a lot of Arkansas fans in Maui. I was surprised. Yeah. Like I was pretty blown away. I'm thinking, there'll be a few fans here and there. Razorback fans traveled down there, man. I guess a lot of them are taking your advice, getting down there early. They probably arrived a day or so ago because, man, they were loud and they had an impact in tonight's basketball game.
I had a chance. Chuck and I were chatting on the phone earlier today, and there was quite a few. Well, first of all, there was enough people that bought the foundation package and whatever that the team ended up taking a private charter, over to Hawaii. And, some boosters and people that bought that package through the foundation traveled with a team. So you had a good travel party there. And all of the ticket allotment, I think there was 300-plus tickets you were guaranteed for it. Hog fans ate up. Chuck estimated he thought somewhere around 500 or so Razorback fans were there from what he could kind of feel and tell. It's a juiced-up high school gymnasium, if you will, for that hosts this. And their convention center seats a little over 2,000 people. It's kind of hard to tell on TV exactly how many Hog fans were there because Louisville had plenty of people in red, but you could definitely hear the call of the Hogs during dead ball situations.
And one Hog fan's worth about 2 or 3 of any other fan in the country. I mean, you're just louder and you're more obnoxious and you do what you do. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Is obnoxious a compliment?
Yes, 100%. Now,
okay.
You can only be obnoxious during games and after wins. Of course, you don't want to be that after losses. But, I mean, Arkansas, I'll give you an example. So think about this, and you referenced the helmet situation during the break. When I was talking about it on the Morning Rush, you hadn't seen the video just yet. If y'all are just hearing this for the first time, this kid decided it was a good idea to steal an Ole Miss player's helmet from the game on Saturday night, and ended
up right after the game was over.
Yeah, and Fayetteville police put something out. They're looking for him or whatever. They're trying to identify this kid. And what I was thinking about when this happened, I was like, what would Arkansas fans do if we were in Vaught Hemingway Stadium and a Ole Miss fan took like KJ Jefferson's helmet? I mean, I swear they'd call the SWAT team. They would have this kid on every FBI list. I mean, it would be the most insane thing ever. And I'm surprised Ole Miss fans weren't more boisterous about this happening or more vocal about one of their guys getting his helmet taken. But if that shoe was on the other foot, oh my gosh, I would feel for the Ole Miss fan that decided it was a good idea to steal an Arkansas player's helmet, because that kid would get lit up on social media.
They probably drink vodka waters out of it, That's what they'd use the helmet for, to serve vodka waters out of the helmet, right?
That too, probably. That's that one gal on that Texags video just made it a thing for, I guess, every Ole Miss fan out there. You know what's crazy about the Grove, Tommy? They don't have any fire, any smoke or anything. There was a catastrophe years ago where several tailgates got burned or something because of a mishap on a grill. So now all that stuff catered. When you walk into the Grove, no flame or there's no actual cooking. It's just all catered. That's why the smells are a little different than when you're obviously in Fayetteville or somewhere else in the SEC. It's just a weird deal. I know the Grove is supposed to be this special place. I liked it, but I don't think it's as great as people make it out to be.
Can't even tailgate responsibly down there.
Yes, man. I guess. Yeah. All right, anything else you want to get to before we close up shop here?
It's our first regular season Hog reaction, so we'll go down in the annals of history here to be the first host for our first post-game basketball show in a regular season game.
Did you just say the annals of history? Is that what I just heard?
The annals. I used the word correctly.
Annals.
The annals of history.
Okay. Well, I guess there's no better way to end it than can you say it for me again? Annals of history?
Again, it's the annals
of
broadcasting history.
Okay, annals of history.
I think with some of your vocabulary challenges, maybe you go in the other category.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to say the what you just said. That just sounds too complicated.
The annals of history.
I'd screw it up like that. All right, well, that'll do it for tonight's show. For Tommy Kraft, I'm Todd Richardson. Morning Rush live, 6 a.m. tomorrow. We'll react to this team, talk a little football as Missouri and Arkansas square off this Friday.